Today I'm out here on this 2025 Yamaha Tracer 9. Now guys, I've never ridden this bike before, but after this video, I should have a much better idea of what this thing's all about. You guys stick around, I'll give it a chase score at the end of the video, and we'll figure out how it lands on the leaderboard. I'm Chase on Two Wheels, welcome to a first ride. Listen, you gotta rev it up a little to make it sound good, but you know what you don't have to rev up to make sound good? A cardo, discount, talk with your buddies, listen to music, have a good time right over there. Alright guys, that's what it looks like and that's what it sounds like. Now before we get rolling on this thing, we get to thank the sponsor of this video, which is Chiggy. If you're riding something like the new 2025 Yamaha Tracer 9, you need a cockpit setup that can actually keep up, and that's exactly where the new Chiggy AIO6 comes in. This thing gives you a full smart dash with wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It's got a bright waterproof touchscreen, built-in GPS, tire pressure monitoring, and even a dash cam system. So everything you need, navigation, music, safety, it's all right at your fingertips. Honestly, that's my favorite part. I don't have to fumble with my phone or try to punch in my passcode just to change a song or change the routing on my GPS. I can just control everything right from my bars, which makes long rides so much smoother and safer. I've actually been using Chiggy's AIO system for a while now. I've got the AIO 5 on my MT10 and I've got the AIO 6 on my Tenere 700. That's actually one of the things I love the most about this new system is that it can be swapped from bike to bike. So soon I'm going to be putting the setup on my MT10 so that way I can just swap my AIO 6 from my Tenere 700 over to my MT10 and I can always use the same setup. If you guys want to upgrade your cockpit, Chiggy's actually giving my viewers 10% off the AIO 6 series. Just use my code CHASE10 at checkout at chiggy.com/chaseontwowheels. I promise you guys, once you try this thing, you are never going to be able to ride without it. Speaking of riding, let's get on this bike. Alrighty guys, thank you for sitting through the ad. I would love to install a Chiggy on this thing. I think it would pair so nicely with that big old screen. Alrighty guys, we have a little bit of rain happening, but we're going to get this thing going anyway, because you guys know how it is. We don't care. Alright guys, sitting on the motorcycle, I'm going to get it cranked up here, if I can get to the key. So guys, I'm 5'10", got a 32-inch inseam. I do have like my little racy boots on right now, and I am able to flat foot thanks to the seat kind of tapering in. We'll get the bike cranked up here. I will say, the peg on this motorcycle sits exactly where I want my boot to go. So there is that. Keep that in mind. Now guys, before we get going, we do have modes. If we hit this mode button, we have rain, we have custom 1, custom 2, sport, and street. That's kind of interesting. The color of the needle changes with the mode. That's interesting. We're going to start in rain mode and we will progress up through the modes even though it's still raining. All right, visor shut. Let's get this first ride going. Am we going? We are going, right? We are. Okay. Also, I forgot to mention, guys, if you do not like sitting through ads, I totally get it. I hate doing those to you guys. So what we did is we have a membership here on the YouTube channel, and you can actually get first ride videos with no ads. All you gotta do is become a member. It costs $1 a month. It's literally nothing. And we put a totally ad-free version of first rides out for you guys. So that money comes directly to the channel and supports what we do and makes it so we need ads less and less. So if you hate ads, we got that option for you. We also have a newsletter if you guys want email notifications of all the cool stuff we have going on around the channel. And maybe one day we can go. Now guys, I do feel like I owe you guys an apology that we're interested in this motorcycle. A year or so ago, I went to the press launch of the Tracer 9 GT Plus. When I got back, I always try to do first rides on bikes I went to do press launches on, because I think it's interesting to ride a bike in these little ideal situations that these manufacturers take us out to for press launches, and then compare that to how the bike is in my hometown on the same route that I ride everywhere. And I realized that I never did a Tracer 9 GT Plus first ride. So my apologies on that, guys. Hopefully I can make up for it with this Tracer 9 video today. But just wanted to touch on that. We're going to talk a little bit about the Tracer 9 GT Plus during this first ride, but yeah, you guys get it. All right, so guys, this is the first ride. Let's talk about body position on the Tracer 9. First up, we have a super wide seat, slightly on the harder side, but it tapers in really well, so that gives me a couple things. I can really get a good grasp with my legs around the motorcycle, and the wideness allows me to have a really comfortable seat, and that thinness in the front allows me to get my feet on the ground. So Yamaha's doing a lot good on this motorcycle when it comes to the seat. As far as my legs, they're kind of, my feet are underneath me, so my legs are bent and all, but I do find it really comfortable. And for a motorcycle that you should be doing a ton of miles on, I think the feet are in a perfect position to where if I got really tired on the highway, I could just lift myself up. My feet are in a perfect position for that. And then my upper half's kind of upright, leaned forward just the smallest amount, and the handlebars are kind of low. Overall, I love the body position. I think the seat might be a little hard, but I would want to test it for, you know, hours and hours and hours before I really commented on it. That being said, Yamaha makes some of the best comfort seats available on the market, so I would not be surprised if they make a comfort seat for this which would slap. Every time I've added a Yamaha comfort seat to one of my bikes, it's always been impressive. So I'm not too worried about the seat. And since we are at this red light, we will hit this mode button, and very easily, we're not going to go into custom 1 or custom 2, but we will go into street mode. Sort of convenient since it seems to have stopped raining. Also, guys, if my audio sounds a little off today, I have a balaclava on because my wee little body can barely handle the 50-degree temperatures of today. My body's not acclimated to colder temps. It just started getting cold in Georgia, so I got a balaclava on, so if my voice sounds a little weird, that's why. So guys, powering this bike is going to be the same engine powering the R9 and the MT-09, and that is the CP3, Yamaha's famous triple. It's an 890cc triple. It's good in the Tracer 9 for about 118 horsepower and 68 foot-pounds of torque. All right, I tried to slow down. I tried to let you over. It was your choice not to come over. Now, guys, I got to give props to Yamaha for this CP3. Not only did they throw this thing in the R9 and take that thing out and start winning championships with this engine, but it has been such an amazing engine since Yamaha debuted it with the MT-09. It's just so incredibly versatile with what you can do with it. It's torquey and fun down low, but you still get to rev it up a little bit, and it still has a fun amount of top end. Yamaha has done such a good job making a triple. It's an impressive engine. I really think a lot of you guys are gonna be really happy with it in the Tracer. I don't honestly think a lot of people buy sport touring to do the sport part. I think most of it is touring and commuting, but with the CP3 inside of this thing, you can most certainly do the sporty part. Now let's talk about this thing as a city motorcycle, city performance. Weight-wise, you're looking at, I believe, 483 pounds, which seems a little on the heavy side, but the bike holds its weight super well, even pushing it around the dealership, like pulling it outside. It's got a really light handlebar, and the balance on the bike is impeccable. It takes no energy to get the bike over and make very quick moves. I think that's partly because of that CP3. It's just like a smaller engine, it seems. But the weight on this motorcycle just kind of drifts away. I love the big handlebar on the back. Not only for a passenger, if you have them, they have little grab rails, but having those makes it a lot easier to move the bike around, like your garage or something like that. Really love little details like that. The one thing I hate about this bike in the city, though, and it's the same thing with the MT-09, right where my leg wants to go when it comes down is where my foot peg is. It's so frustrating. So I end up just kind of leaning the bike over, and that way my foot can go directly down where it wants to. It's little stuff like that, and you might fit on this bike totally differently from me, but that's just something I've noticed. I don't know, I'm just like the perfect position for it to go right into my leg, and I always get a little frustrated with that. Not that it's that big of a deal, but you guys know I'm here to nitpick for you. I am kind of surprised at how maneuverable this bike is. I didn't expect it to be crazy maneuverable. I never really expect that with touring bikes. That's just not a you know, a detail you kind of look for with a touring bike. That's a giant log, dude. Holy crap. Let me get out of here before I get a log falling on me. So guys, one of the first things I noticed about this bike when we took it out for the camera car run is how light of a steering this bike has. You know, you look at this bike and it's not the smallest bike, and it just looked like it would be a little more lethargic feeling. And I am so happy to say it is not that at all. The steering takes literally nothing to move from side to side. So I think that's to do with like the rake and the trail that Yamaha has decided on this bike. But whatever it is, really impressive. And hey, look, it's not raining on us. Perfect, because we left rain mode. I wonder if it started raining because I was in rain mode. So we'll do a little bit of a push here off the line. I'll show you guys the pickup that this CP3 has. Let's make sure nobody's going to run into us. That is a note I will make, is with the Tracer 9 GT Plus, which is the 2024 model, apparently you guys didn't buy enough of those. So now what Yamaha has done is we in America only have the Tracer 9. We do not get the GT Plus anymore. So basically, they take out the radar cruise, they take out the specific suspension it had. We don't get heated grips, we don't get a quick shifter stock. You can buy these aftermarket, of course, but they don't come on the bike as is. And because of that, it drops the price of the motorcycle by $4,000. So now for $12,600, you can get this kind of, I guess you can kind of look at it as a base model. And then if you want some of those upgrades, you can get them. You just can't get that radar cruise, which I'm going to be honest, I don't really care about. More of a gimmick. Nice to have, I guess, but I have radar cruise in my car, and it's kind of annoying sometimes, so I don't know if I really care about that. One of the modifications that I am sad that this bike doesn't have is a remote for the preload adjustment in the rear of the motorcycle. The reason I say that is because this bike is very much a bike that sometimes you'll have bags, sometimes you won't, sometimes you'll have a passenger, sometimes you won't. It's just a bike that would be good for all that kind of stuff. And since you don't have that remote preload adjustment, you can't really get your suspension dialed in those different environments. You have to get a tool out and do the whole thing. So I totally get Yamaha removing a lot of stuff and giving Americans a more base level Tracer 9, but I do wish we would have had a remote preload adjuster. So Yamaha, if you're listening at all, I am a random dude that doesn't matter at all. But if you, for some reason, listen to me, I would only put the remote preload adjuster back in. And, you know, quick shifter, we can get those. I would love a quick shifter. If I bought this bike, I would definitely have a quick shifter. But yeah, stuff I'd change. Oh, shoot, we might get this green. Hold on, we got to get into sport mode. All right, we got into sport mode. Woo, that was quick. All right, guys, we got to see how fast it'll go from 40 miles an hour to 80 miles an hour. That happened fast. I did not expect to get that. I think this might be a second gear situation, guys. Let's scoot back a little bit. All right, guys, 2025 Yamaha Tracer 9, 40 miles an hour to 80 miles an hour. How fast will it go? Let's find out in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, no, that's a first gear. That's a first gear situation. Hold on. On your mark. Get set. Go. Yeah. Front wheel comes up in first and second. I definitely think that's a first gear situation. What was the time on that? Let's do the adjustable windscreen up a little bit and get that going. Bro, that would have been such trash had I not shifted down into first. Oh my god, that'll go in the record books of the best usage of gearing Chase has ever done on the highway 40 to 80 pole. Holy smack. Alrighty guys, we're here on the highway with the Tracer 9. The place that this bike should exist, and boy does it. Super stable, incredibly protected. So as far as vibrations and stuff, the only vibrations I feel, slight in the hands, barely anything in my feet. I'm very comfortable here. We got the windscreen in the upper position. You guys saw it's a relatively easy, just up and down move there. I wish the windscreen could maybe come up a little more, because right now it's hitting me just at the top of my helmet. It's not bobbling my helmet too much, but I wish it could come up maybe like that much more and it would get the air going directly over me. And again, I'm a 5'10" rider, so if you're a little taller, you might have to duck down. But the only other thing I'm feeling is here on my shoulder, on my arm. I'm feeling a little bit of wind, but I'm really impressed at how it's protecting my legs from the elements and my hands. It's doing a really good job. Power-wise, in sport mode, we've got plenty of pickup here on the highway. No issue with power at all. Over here, we do have the cruise control, so we'll hit that button one time and then down for setting it. Very simple setup for the cruise control. Guys, look how stable this bike is on the damn highway. Holy shit, you can just lay back and take a nap if you wanted to. That is super impressive. Let's see if we can rotate forward to disengage. Boop. Yep, there we go, cool. One of the things I do want to note, for a motorcycle that is a sport touring bike, I would have expected the suspension to be a little softer and kind of lean more towards that comfort side. Right now, the suspension feels a little firm. I'm getting a lot of vibration from little things in the road. And if I want to ride sporty, I would like that because I get more traction that way, I guess. But like, I don't know. I kind of just want it to be a little softer. I want to be able to have a little more plush of a feel. It looks like the front is adjustable. I don't know how much adjustment the front can handle, but this one definitely feels a little hard for me. I'm just getting too much feedback from the road. And if I was riding for a really long time, that would be like that little gravelly stuff. I can feel the details of that a little too much. But now throwing the bike over, now it feels good, right? I get that locked on feel. So I don't know. I guess it depends on what you're going to do with the motorcycle. If you're looking for doing more touring, it's a keep moving. Yep, you are totally okay to keep moving. If you're gonna do something like touring, I would definitely see how much I could adjust out and soften up at least the compression on the front. It's just I'm getting too much like aggressive feel out of the front of the bike. At least for what I would be looking at for a touring bike. God, dude, sport mode does not mess around, nor does a Lexus turning into you. Sport mode, if you want to experience what the CP3 can do, you have to put it in sport mode. Oh God, the CP3 is such a good engine, dude. No wonder they put this thing in an R9 and they instantly go out and start winning championships. No shocker with that at all. It is such a torquey, fun, powerful engine. So I don't know if you guys just noticed that I went over some holes in the road, just some little potholes. You could actually feel, I think you could see, I could feel the handlebars wiggling back and forth because they're so hard, the suspension. So that's that kind of, I don't want that feeling on a sport touring motorcycle. You guys could be a different opinion than me. If you are, let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, just slight tweaks on the suspension to get it dialed in. It's KYB suspension. They got a nice set of suspension on here. It's not like some crap. But I would just like to see it adjusted a little differently. I'm kind of surprised right now the difference in sport mode and street mode. There is a noticeable jump in power. And guys, this bike has 35 miles on it, so it's brand new. It'll break in. That'll be fascinating to watch. God. Oh, I love that in sport mode this bike feels like an MT-09. I love that. Oh, bro, you can have a good time. It's capital S-P-O-R-T, sport touring on the Tracer, dude. I'm so glad. I was worried that they would dial the CP3 back too much to where you didn't get that fun, punchy power. But all you gotta do is put it in sport mode. Or you can you can customize all the modes too. If you go into the YRC menu, Yamaha Ride Control, yeah, YRC, yeah. I was like, wait, which thing is it? So we touched on the fact that this does not have a quick shifter stock. That is one thing I would really like to have on this bike. It feels so sporty and fun. A quick shifter would just make sense, but I guess they had to take that out to get it to the price they wanted it at. It would just make it feel even more sporty if we could get something like that. But as far as shifting gears, Yamaha's transmissions are so good. You get a real positive click when you go into the other gear. There's been no, going from first to second and dropping in a neutral, anything like that. Had no issues at all. And one of the things you guys might have to get used to on this bike when you buy it, if you're looking forward to go riding it or something, is the gearing is tall. But the CP3 can handle that with no problem. It has got the power to pull you through a gear and actually is really fun to ride like that. So, you know, don't be short shifting this thing. Oh, okay, cool. Also, guys, I have a surprise for you. Check out up here. You long-term fans are going to be surprised when you see what's about to happen. I know me and Patrick were surprised when it happened. Look! 2 lanes, baby! 2 lanes! How awesome is that? All the construction was worth it. We've been sitting through this construction for years. And finally, what do we get as a reward? Double lanes on this part of the road. I was very excited. You guys probably don't give a shit. Let's talk about the controls. These are the updated Yamaha controls as of like 2 years ago. Start button mode on the side. Super easy to get to with my thumb. No problem there. Cruise dial here. Home button. I don't love the blinkers. I'm not used to the little toggle thing yet, but they're fine. It is what it is. You hit them once to go to initiate. You hit it again to cancel it. So, I mean, it's fine. It does its job. It is what it is. What else? We got adjustable levers. Love that. Appreciate Yamaha for including those. And I also do really appreciate the hand guards on here, especially for riding in more, you know, adverse conditions where it's like really cold or something. That helps a lot, blocking the wind on your hand. So I think they did a good job there. We got this huge 7-inch TFT display up here. This is easily my favorite display that Yamaha puts on any motorcycle. One, I think it's super cool how the little, the tack has like little energy bars around it. Like, watch this. How cool is that, dude? So I hope Yamaha brings this design to all the other stuff, the other models that they have. The other thing I'm really impressed with this bike, if we hit the home button, we bring up the little menu here at the bottom. I just have to give Yamaha props for how responsive the thing is. Like, look how responsive this is. So those are the 4 dashes you can have, but I mean, bro, why would you want anything other than this one? Anyway, super impressed. Yamaha's been a company where we have pulled them dragging and screaming with their dashes, but they have made a phenomenal dash here. I will note the glass on this dash is a little too reflective. I would want to see if they had some sort of like matte material that they could put on the outside of this dash. That way, if it was super bright and I was riding into the sun and the sun was reflecting off me, the dash might be a little hard to see. So that's just, again, we're nitpicking. Overall quality of the dash, the color, everything I really like. I think they've got it laid out super well here. And the settings menu you cannot get to if you're riding, which is cool. But I mean, look how nice everything is laid out. It's super simple, super easy. Stability control. We got traction control, slide control, lift control, backup, back slip regulator. I ain't touching none of that, fam. As you guys can see though, for Yamaha, this is top tier. Love that. Also, odd placement, but a USB-C port. It kind of looks weird there, but it's kind of perfect. You add a quad lock to the bike, you can charge your phone directly right there. If you had some sort of GPS or something like that, it'd be a perfect spot to power something. So that's a pretty good location. We didn't touch too much on the grips. Grips are fine. Don't really have a problem with them. They do their job well. They don't rotate around or anything like that. And honestly, I really like the angle of the levers. They feel really good. I kind of wish they were blacked out, but I wouldn't argue too much about it since we do have the hand guards on here. Whew, that was a lot to talk about, dude. All right, guys, we got to give this thing a chase score and see how it lands on the leaderboard. Let's find out.
Alright guys, so let's do the chase score for the 2025 Yamaha Tracer 9. For throttle response, I'm going to give it an 8. That CP3 triple wakes up in sport mode and the pull is clean with no drama. For agility wise, I'm going to give this thing an 8. That crazy light steering for how big this thing looks is super easy to flick around town. For brakes, I'm going to give the bike a 7. They're totally fine for street and touring pace, but not a standout performance setup. Acceleration wise, I'm giving this thing an 8. If you guys didn't tell, that 640 to 80 pull shows that this thing has a hidden MT09 under there. All you gotta do is put it in sport mode, and that front wheel cannot be kept on the ground. Now for suspension, I'm gonna give the bike a 5. The KYB is good hardware, but it's too firm for a sport touring setup, and I really wish it had a remote reservoir for preload adjustment on the rear. For comfort wise, guys, I'm gonna give it a 7. It's got a great upright ergos and tapered seat for that flat footing, but the seat's a little firm and the screen could be a little taller, and that's for a 5'10" rider. For tech, I'm going to give this bike an 8. That TFT and the YRC setup is Yamaha's best to date at this current moment, plus the cruise, but we lost a little bit of the GT Plus toys and the heated grips. For ease of use, I'm going to give the bike an 8. It's light to push, balanced, simple mode changes, and overall very rider-friendly, even for newer riders. Versatility-wise, I'm going to give the bike a 7. It's excellent for commuters and tourers, but it's missing a few of those GT Plus conveniences for full, long-haul adaptability. Now, fun for the money, I'm going to give the bike a 6. It's a strong value at $12,600, though you'll want to buy back some of the missing features from the GT Plus, at least I did. Now, guys, that's going to give a total ride score of 36, a total usability score of also 36, for a total chase score of 72.
God, that's when you want that quick shifter, man. Ugh, I want it so bad. All right, guys, that's the chase score, and that's where it lands on the leaderboard. So you guys let me know, am I correct in my chase score or not? Let me know in the comments down below. So, guys, overall, am I sad that, that America doesn't appreciate sport touring bikes enough to where Yamaha just takes it away and we only get the base model now? A little bit. I don't think these bikes get enough love because they can do so many things well. Like, if you're doing anything on asphalt, most of the time, the best bike for you realistically is a sport touring bike. They can do everything so well, and for some reason America just doesn't understand, and we all want nakeds or super sport, or we want actual touring bikes. We don't like sport touring for some reason. But I would urge you guys to try out a sport touring bike. I think you would be impressed. I think overall Yamaha's done a phenomenal job giving us a cheaper option to get this motorcycle and taking away the things that you don't have to have. Realistically, most of y'all aren't going to be changing your suspension up, so that's not that big of a deal, I don't think. It's adjustable if you do want to, though. I wish it came with a quick shifter. This bike feels too sporty to not have a quick shifter. And then on a cooler day today, I would like to have heated grips, but I can buy those if I wanted to. The major things that you're not getting and you can't really upgrade to is that suspension. I guess you could upgrade the suspension, but I don't think a lot of people are going to. And then the radar cruise. In my experience, radar cruise is a nice to have, but it is by no means a requirement. So if I can have this bike available for $4,000 cheaper without having that other stuff, I'm kind of okay with it, if I'm going to be honest. Also, guys, big shout out to Mountain Motorsports for allowing us to borrow this motorcycle for the day to do the first ride for you guys. I'll have a bike provided by link in the description. You guys go give those guys some love for letting us borrow the motorcycle, and share this video out with somebody that you think likes to do sport riding or touring, because I think this motorcycle will be phenomenal for both of you. If you guys want to see a playlist of all the other first rides we've done, it's in the description down below. I'm Chase on Two Wheels. You guys go ride safe. Later.